Welcome to the Academy, a series focused on the basics of Star Wars: The Old Republic. The new gearing system introduced in Star Wars: The Old Republic's Legacy of the Sith expansion has drastically shaken up how players earn gear, especially at a high level. I have two other videos that cover gearing up at level 80. The first is the simple guide, which is a whole 4 minutes long, and the other one is a how gearing works at 80, which is a full 27 minutes long. In this video, we are only going to be covering the process of trying to earn the very best gear in the game at a high level of content. The best gear in the game is meant to only be for players doing the hardest content in the game. Master mode operations are very difficult. They require a certain amount of DPS, healing, or defensive number checks, as well as being able to do the mechanics required for that operation. If you're not already running veteran or master mode operations regularly, you shouldn't even worry about the best gear in the game and instead seek out alternative gearing routes, which you can check out in those other videos. The question I'm trying to answer for this guide is, my team wants to run nightmare mode operations. What's the best way for them to gear up? So first off, the highest item rating in the game is 330 purple gear plus 330 gold legendary implants. Getting your legendary implants is something both hardcore and casual players can do, but not all of your team members may be aware of them, so make sure their first step as soon as they hit level 80 is to go pick up those legendary implants quests. The implants are not necessarily hard to get, just time consuming. They require mostly tech fragments, and the fastest way to get those right now is through GSF and through Conquest, with the runners up of flashpoints through the group finder as well as drop from operation bosses. The 330 purple gear is the actual hard part to get. The only way to get 330 gear at its final tier is through upgrading gear you got dropped from Master Mode operations or from Master Mode operation gearboxes from the weeklies. The bosses in Master Mode operations drop a piece of gear that is meant to be equal to what you currently have, not better, in number. The minimum they will drop is a piece of 320 purple Rakata gear. If you've been gearing up a while and say every piece you had was already 328, the bosses would drop a 328 purple piece for you. In addition, if you manage to clear an entire Master Mode and all of its bosses, and receive the upgrade box from the weekly quest, you'll get a guaranteed upgrade. One very fast way players have discovered to get a full set of 326 purple gear is by playing Galactic Starfighter. Completing the weekly and moving up the PvP gearing path to 326 purple is by far the fastest way to get an intro set of 326 purple gear. You don't even need to win matches, just complete them. You don't have to be very good, just try your best to go shoot the enemy. What's cool about this tactic is that once you've earned that 326 set through Galactic Starfighter or PvP, when you do open those Master Mode operation boxes, you'll be guaranteed an upgrade to 328 if you already have a full 326 set. Silly, but the box looks at numbers, not gear sources. If you're wearing a 326 set, even if it's from PvP, when you do run Nightmare Mode bosses of any kind, they will drop gear equal to that, and when you deconstruct it, you'll also get more currency back that you can use to pay the vendor to upgrade your gear. Another way to get a full set of 326 gear to build off of for item rating is through the solo conquest track. You'll need to earn about 2,500 aquatic resource matrices to upgrade all of your gear through that track, so it takes a while. But if you hate GSF or you really don't want a PvP, this may be a better source for you to get that 326 gear that can help boost you in those Master Mode operations instead of just having to start at 320. The third option is to get blue 326 gear through Master Mode flashpoints or Veteran Mode operations. The idea is that if you want the best gear in the game, you will need to collect a full set of this purple Rakata gear and then work on upgrading it all the way up to 330, paying currency you get from operations and deconstructing leftover operation gear and turning it into hazardous matter catalysts. Before you can start the process of upgrading though, you need pieces of purple Rakata gear to upgrade in the first place. This purple upgradable Rakata gear can only come from two places. So Veteran Mode operations, it can drop as a lucky drop, but you can only get what's known as the left side. That's the relics and the earpiece only, and the implants, but you don't want those because you want legendary implants. And then mainly from Master Mode operations, which drop all pieces. From the individual bosses, which will be equal to what you're currently wearing, or the Master Mode Operation weekly boxes, which will be an upgrade. but you can only get it if you complete an entire operation and all its bosses. Ideally, you would want to get that awesome upgrade box from the weekly boxes, but right now, since master modes are so hard to complete at the moment, you may want to instead to focus on just getting a set of purple gear and then pay the currency to upgrade it. A fast way players have found to pick up pieces of that purple Rakata gear is from running the first boss of Master Mode Dread Fortress, Nephra. You'll see stuff like LFGNN, looking for group, Nightmare Nephra, in chat. She can drop that purple Rakata gear even if all you have on is some, 320 blue gear, whatever it is you got. Players with Master Mode skill should be able to do this fight in old gear from the previous expansion, or like 320 blues from the flashpoints, though it's not a cakewalk. If you do go into this Nephra fight with a full set of 326 from any of the methods, so from solo conquesting, master mode flashpoints, or from veteran mode flashpoints, then she will drop 326 purple gear for you. And that way you can skip past the expensive process of going 320 purple, 322 purple, 324 purple, and then 326 purple. You can fight Nephra once per week per character. Make sure you have that 110% accuracy, please. If you are instead looking to gain gear to prepare to run Master Mode operations as a team, apart from the PvP route mentioned, which seems to be the best as it gives you purple 326, you can play Master Mode flashpoints to get up to 326 blue gear. Drops from flashpoint bosses are equal to what you have on, with a minimum drop of 320 blue, and you get a guaranteed upgrade from the weekly boxes, and you can pay currency to upgrade your flashpoint gear up to 326 blue without having to use the currencies needed for later on upgrading your Rakata gear. The cost in currencies to upgrade your purple gear, your Rakata gear, is quite expensive, so if you do not play on a regular basis, you may want to save your currencies for upgrading the purple gear. Otherwise, you'll spend all your aquatic resource matrices upgrading your blue gear, which you'll also need for your purple gear. These come from the heroics and the dailies as well as the world bosses. Another route to preparing is by running veteran mode operations, which also goes up to 326 blue gear, but it has a similar issue of requiring the same materials as upgrading your purple Rakata gear, as they both require hazardous matter catalysts and aquatic resource matrices to upgrade. Running story mode or veteran mode operations both will get you hazardous matter catalysts, which are a key currency in upgrading that purple Rakata gear, as you head towards 330 purple gear, the best in the game. If you're running story operations or veteran operations to farm hazardous matter catalysts, another thing you can do to increase your yields is to have at least 320 gear on and wear a single 306 or at least 320 piece left side piece, so a relic, an implant, or an earpiece. Although boss drops are not supposed to work this way, it's reported that this setup will cause the boss to drop that piece in blue in story mode or that piece in purple in veteran mode, which can be disassembled for extra catalyst compared to the normal gear that drops for these modes. I have not had a chance to try this one out myself. You can also supposedly use this tip if you're running master modes if you're having trouble getting a specific piece that you need to drop. So let's say you're just missing your belt. You could equip all Rakata gear, and for your slot that you want to drop, equip a 306 piece instead. While this won't help you gear up faster or get more materials, this will help you if you keep getting really unlucky with your final piece. Once again, I haven't actually tested this one out yet. If you're on a team, what is the best way to gear up together if you're working towards Master Mode operations or Nightmare Mode raiding? It will depend a lot on what activities your team wants to do and how much they play. Dedicated players have already gotten to 326 purple gear through GSF and can take that straight into Master Mode raiding. Players who have been grinding flashpoints and already have a full set of 326 blue gear have no need to run their veteran mode ops, as they can get the same gear there. And if they're chasing hazardous matter catalyst currency, it would likely be faster for them just to run story mode ops on farm. Teams that mostly log into raid might want to jump into veteran mode operations, as they can work together to gain blue gear slowly but surely. If they are lucky, get some of those purple drops, start saving up those hazardous matter catalysts, and run Master Mode Nephra when they can for a bonus purple drop to work on upgrading. I hope this little convoluted talk about the best gear in the game helped either you out if you're gearing up towards Nightmare Mode, or helped to figure out what you want to do with your team. If you have any more tips about how to gear yourself up or how to gear your team up quickly towards that purple Rakata gear, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to see more tips and tricks. If you want to show your support for this series and this guide probably becoming totally obsolete whenever 7.1 and the new operation drops, please visit Swtorista.com/support. And if you want more videos, probably not like this one, but about your favorite game, to show up on your YouTube homepage, please subscribe to this channel. See you guys later, and may the RNG be with you?